Was Tiananmen Square a massacre? Let's tackle a question that has sparked debate for decades. Was Tiananmen Square a massacre? To understand this, we need to look closely at what happened in June 1989. A massacre is often defined as the deliberate killing of many people, especially those who are unarmed. In April and May of 1989, peaceful protests began in Tiananmen Square. Students, workers, and intellectuals gathered to demand political reform, freedom of speech, and an end to corruption. The protests grew, with hundreds of thousands of people filling the square in Beijing. However, on the night of June 3rd and into the early hours of June 4th, the Chinese government took drastic action. They sent military forces to clear the square and surrounding areas. Troops used live ammunition against the protesters and bystanders. Eyewitness accounts describe soldiers firing into crowds, leading to numerous deaths and injuries. Some protesters were even crushed by military vehicles. The exact number of casualties is still unknown. The Chinese government has kept this information secret, making it difficult to determine how many lives were lost. International media and human rights organizations have reported that the death toll could be in the thousands, but the Chinese Communist Party has never confirmed these figures. From the perspective of the Chinese Communist Party, they do not label the events as a massacre. Instead, they refer to it as a necessary action to maintain social stability. The party claims they acted to prevent chaos and counter what they called a counter-revolutionary rebellion. They argue that their actions were justified to protect the interests of the people and the nation. The impact of the Tiananmen Square crackdown on China has been profound. It showed the party's willingness to use force to suppress dissent. This event led to tighter restrictions on freedom of expression and increased censorship. A climate of fear emerged among citizens, and the government took measures to control information. They confiscated film from journalists and expelled foreign reporters. Domestic journalists who supported the protests faced removal from their positions. The legacy of Tiananmen Square continues to shape China's political environment. Since then, the Chinese Communist Party has focused on strict control over public discourse and economic development to maintain stability. The party carefully manages its narrative about the events to reinforce its authority and discourage challenges to its rule. While many international observers and historians describe the events at Tiananmen Square as a massacre due to the violence and loss of life, the Chinese Communist Party rejects this characterization. They maintain that their actions were necessary to protect the socialist system and maintain order. This incident remains a defining moment in the history of communism in China, illustrating the lengths to which the party will go to preserve its power.